Riot killed rerolling. Except for Tristana. Tristana is the last reroll available, so let's check out this game that I had. I forgot to press record earlier, and right now we got 6 Tristanas. I got this one in the beginning, and then all of a sudden chosen Tristana on the round before this. So I lost the first round, but we have her now. No items yet, so it's looking a little rough still. We can't level up, so we're probably going to lose some rounds. And yeah, no items, a little rough, but maybe we get like a good item for the early game, such as like a Sunfire for like Braum or something like that. And then maybe like a Runons for Tristana. Who knows? Let's just see what happens. So the main reason why reroll is so terrible is because they changed all this chosen odds. So in the last patch, you were not able to get a chosen as often as you can now. So now since you could get chosens more often, you're not as reliant on your first chosen as you were before. That means if you sell off your 1-cost chosen, you're going to hit the 2-cost chosen, you're going to hit the 3-cost chosen much easier. So that just makes the 1-cost chosens really, really weak. So there's not really much point in re-rolling. Even if you had like 6 Yasuos or 6 Dianas at this point in the game, I wouldn't even consider going for those compositions unless I have like perfect items for them in conjunction with having all the copies of the unit. If not, just go for other comps, use them to transition into something else. However, with Tristana, she is the last one you could use for a 1-cost carry to reroll. And like at 2 costs, there are like Zed reroll, there's like Nautilus reroll. But Nautilus is part of like Fabled, so you're doing both Nautilus and Nico, so I guess I won't really count that. But Zed reroll, it's not really that great either. And again, like this is just because like 1-cost chosens got nerfed all across the board. Chosen changes really helped later game chosens a lot more. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there are a lot more like 5-star legendary chosens winning the games now. But Tristana's still playable. We were early pick. We got a nice pick in the pick order, so we got a bow, which is really nice for her, obviously. We're into the next shop. We're just doing the classic sharpshooter Vanguard start. It's nice that we have Dragonclaw because, well, like it's a pretty good buff. Just a note, you could do this build with like any type of start. Obviously, you want Sharpshooter Vanguard because Braum is a Vanguard, but you could do like Brawlers as well for your front line. Instead of Braum and Garen, you could do something like Shyvana plus a different brawler like Tahm Kench or Maokai, and that'll do just as fine. This version is a little better because Braum and Garen are a little tankier than the Brawlers, but yeah, you'll live. So unlucky loss there because if we had won, we would have sold the Wukong. We would have made 20 gold. 1 gold from the win and 1 gold from selling Wukong to 20. Would have been really nice. Unfortunate, we don't get it there. All right, on to the next round. Yeah, not much to do here. Another thing you could do is do like Spirit. So if we had Teemo, we could replace one of these frontliners with like a Yuumi, for example, and then just a random tank unit. But obviously, this is better because you really want Dragon Soul. So Spirit, while it's great, it's not like as critical as like having 2 tanks. It's just a classic start we have right now. You could transition into any composition with this build. So if we don't end up seeing a lot more Tristanas, like we're not in that much of a bad situation because we didn't build any items. We're just gonna pivot into a different comp if we don't end up hitting her. But let's see what we have. We are in a little bit of a weird spot. Look at our gold. We're at like 26 gold. Not where you want to be if you're doing a 1-cost reroll. Normally at this point in the game, I'm at like 40 gold. I'm at like 50 gold. But yeah, not this time. The one thing we do have going for us is that we have 6 Tristanas. Normally I only have 4 or maybe 5 Tristanas. So would you trade 1 Tristana for 20 gold? Maybe, maybe not. That's actually a lot to ask for. So I personally wouldn't, but you know, we're in this situation already, nothing we can do about it. Let's see what items drop because that's really going to determine if we can even go for this build. So what do you want on Tristana? Well, attack speed items are really good. Quicksilver Sash is really good. Any sort of like buff items like Zeke's Herald or Chalice of Harmony are really good. And we got pretty lucky there. We have a QSS and we have a Chalice of Harmony. So we could do either of those right now. And Tristana is really great because she can use any item. And when I mean any item, I mean any like attack damage, attack speed, or ability power item. So if you get a Jeweled Gauntlet, you could play Jeweled Gauntlet Tristana. You get a Last Whisper, you could play Last Whisper Tristana. You get a Rage Blade and RFC, you could put that all on Tristana. All of them work. I'd say actually the most important item is the Quicksilver Sash. Just because a lot of Aatrox in the meta right now, and I don't know if you guys know this, but Aatrox, he pulls the furthest unit away from him right next to him. So if your carry's in the corner, you're probably going to get pulled by Aatrox. So you want the QSS, even though it's not like the best item early game. We just didn't have a choice here. We got like 2 cloaks and a chain, so a little unlucky on the items, but luckily Golems gave us some buildable items. We don't have a true offensive item yet, so we don't have like a Rage Blade, we don't have a RFC, we don't have like a Runons or anything like that, or like a Deathblade. So like it's a little awkward in that sense. We also don't have a lot of gold, as I mentioned before, but you know, you make do with that. We get another Tristana, so that's really, really nice. I'm not gonna roll to 0 because we are like super low econ, so we might be able to hit it, but I'd rather just do the slow roll. And if you guys don't know what slow rolling is, you guys can check out my slow rolling video, or like I'll just explain it here. You just roll down to 50 every turn, so that you can find your unit while maintaining the maximum amount of interest. It just depends what you want to do. You need to find a time to do what's called like an all-in, where you just stop slow rolling and then you just roll all the way to 0 instead. And you normally do that if you want to hit a power spike, or if you're really close to Tristana 3-star, or whatever 3-star you're going for. It doesn't have to be Tristana. So if you have like 8 Tristanas, you could do something like roll till you hit, because you'll be really strong when you do. And then you could just like forgo all the slow rolling nonsense, because yeah, the strategy, it got affected a lot recently. So the only champion you could do it on is Tristana. I've seen a lot of pro players do this. I've done it in some of my games, including the one you're watching now. It's the only playable one. Like Yasuo, Diana, Nasus, like don't play any of those slow rolls. Nidalee, don't do that either. They're just really, really weak. Until there's like a new patch, there's just no reason to do it, because I'd rather just play for a win streak, do aggressive level ups, rather than do like a slow roll composition, because there's no guarantee that you get like 5 or 6 Yasuos by the time you hit the Krugs, which is normally what you want when you do this strategy. But we're not doing too bad so far. We're kind of middle of the pack. We're kind of like win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, I think. We're like 50-50 in our like round win percentage. So not the best spot, not the worst spot. We don't have a lot of gold. We barely rolled. But I guess we kind of barely rolled because we had our gold tied up in other units. So I guess that's fine. It's like, I'd say this is around like a slightly above average game for Tristanas. Just because if I have 7 Tristanas at around like 3-4, 3-5, that's generally a good state to be in. Some people hit 3-star Tristana before that, but those are kind of like lucky games. Some people don't hit Tristana until stage 4-1, but I forgot when I hit it in this game, but we'll see. So we have the bow, so I kind of want our Rage Blade, so I go ahead and take the rod there. We already have Quicksilver Sash, so we don't need to touch that. So it's just all about finishing our bow item. So new round, we could do some rolls here. I'm going to buy everything in the shop to maximize my chances of hitting Tristana. We get a Sivir there, which is super, super nice. Sivir's always good. She gives an attack speed buff. Nothing more you can ask for there. We're also looking for like one other sharpshooter, so we want either Nidalee or what's the other one called? There's one other sharpshooter. I just can't think of it right now. Oh, it might be Samira, so we can't get that one. Never mind on that. We're just looking for Nidalee to get to 4 sharpshooter, and we'll probably play that at level 6. But we can't really do that till we hit the Tristana 3-star. And like again, even though we had a great start with Tristanas, we didn't have a big econ, so we didn't roll that much. So that's why we don't have 3-star Tristana yet. Even though if you look at some of your opponents who do this, they might have her already. So a little awkward in some cases there. But decent win here. We finally got a damage item, so these games are going to be a ton easier. You always want like a mix of damage and defensive and utility items. We have the Chalice of Power buffing, we have the Quicksilver Sash for defense, and we have the Rage Blade, which is, well, it's just a good item. We get the Nautilus upgrade over the Garen. We're planning to do some sort of Vanguard frontline later in the game, but we get the Nidalee here. So here's where I'm a little confused. Should I run like 4 Warlords, or not 4 Warlords, 4 Sharpshooter, or should I run the Nautilus? Nautilus is like such a strong unit, but getting 4 Sharpshooter with Tristana carry, that seems pretty good to me. But I honestly don't know which one is stronger here. I'm curious to see what like other players think. So let me know down in the comments what you think there. And while you guys are down there, if you like what you're seeing so far, or if you want to get notifications on whenever I post a new video, go ahead, hit the subscribe button down below, like the video if you are excited to see some sort of reroll game when reroll is proclaimed to be dead. But yeah, we'll just continue on here. All right, Sivir 2, that's really nice. We did roll a bunch, so it's not totally uncalled for, and we hit the Tristana, which is really, really nice. If we did not hit Tristana, next round I would have rolled all the way to 0 to try to find her, and then after that, level up as quickly as I can, go to level 6, put in Nautilus again. So if you guys are in this situation where you're like, oh man, what do I do if I don't hit the Tristana before stage 4-1? Well, if you're healthy, Like if you're the 98 health guy, you could continue slow rolling. It's a little risky, but if you're down like where these guys are, where you're like 60 or 50 health, that's when I would roll on stage 4-1 until I hit the desired unit, because well, you just need just on a 3-star to survive stage 4. I've seen some people do it and survive a little bit without getting the Tristana 3-star until like maybe stage 4-3, but it's really risky, especially if you're higher up. If you're like below diamond, you could get away with Tristana 2-star, but if you're anything above that, like you really want to have like Tristana 3 at this point in the game. So we do get a Sunfire Cape. I'm going to smack that on the Nautilus because I'm going to sell Nautilus. I plan on running more Vanguards such as Aatrox or Sejuani. So if I want the item on them, I need to sell the Nautilus and then give them the items because I need to keep Braum for Dragon Soul. I might even go 6 Dragon Soul this game because I have the Dragon Soul spatula, and you guys can see what Dragon Soul does here. It's a very hard comp to position, but yeah, it's kind of a weird because you have a Dragon Soul buff, and it's normally going to hit Braum. Notice how Braum is like glowing before, but Tristana wants the buff, and she doesn't get it until Braum dies. So if Braum is too tanky, Tristana never gets the buff. That's why I didn't put the Sunfire Cape on the Braum. Okay, let's see what we have here. Nothing here. So at this rate, we just want to try to level up, get to level 7, get to level 8 maybe before we start rolling, because we're looking for mainly 4-cost units. We're looking for Sejuani and Aatrox to put in. Maybe we could add in Yuumi at level 7, but we don't need to roll for anything at that point. Yeah, I guess we could just put in Spirit right now. We're kind of on like a mini win streak, so we could kind of keep it up there. So for items, I could smack the second Rage Blade on Tristana. That could be really good, but I am really waiting to see if I could do like a Dragon Soul spatula. That way maybe I could do 6 Dragon Soul, as that's like a very strong build, because that means Tristana's gonna get the buff a lot faster than she normally would right now. Like right now she doesn't have the Dragon Soul buff. We need Braum to die, and then once Braum dies, the glowing thing will go to Tristana. Okay, I guess he never died this round. Braum's too tanky. Sometimes this is a little weird. Sometimes like 1-star Braum is actually stronger than 2-star Braum, because if the buff had transferred to Tristana right away, if Braum died right away, Tristana just mows through everyone. So it's like a little like weird situation. That's why getting 6 Dragon Soul, really, really good, because, well, you get 3 buffs instead of 1. So you could put like a fodder unit in the front line, they die right away, then the buff gets transferred to Tristana very, very quickly, and you just go from there. But yeah, Yuumi's a great addition here, gives us Spirit. We're an attack speed based comp, so that's why we play Yuumi. Notice the positioning I have here. I have Nautilus on the top left and Tristana on the bottom right. And the reason why I do that is because Yuumi targets the unit gets damaged first. And then, like, notice how when I did a swap, I swapped my Nautilus back to the other side too. Yuumi targets the unit that gets damaged first. So if someone attacks Nautilus on the top right, Yuumi's going to jump to Nautilus and then jump to the furthest unit away from that. So that typically would be Tristana if he had a unit on the top right. Unfortunately, in this situation, he did not, so it jumped to my Nidalee instead. But that's the reasoning behind this positioning. I generally would want to put Braum to 1 square to the right. That kind of guarantees the hit instead of having a 50-50 on Nidalee or Tristana, but didn't have time to do that this game. This guy has 8 Nikos. Holy cow, that's a lot of Nikos. At stage 4-3, I want to be in his position. I'll be honest with you guys. So now I'm looking for like what items I need. I'm last pick. So we could go for another Chalice. We could go for Hat. We could go for like, yeah, I want the Chalice. Don't get that. So I think here, maybe we get the, Belt would be good for Zeke's if we get a sword. Rod would be good so we build a Rage Blade right now, and then we save the other rod for a Dragon Soul spatula. So both work fine. I think this one might be a little better because we could just slam the Rage Blade right away. The earlier you build an item, the more powerful it's going to be because you get more value from it. So sometimes, like, even though it's great to get like perfect items, if it takes you too long to get perfect items, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So you notice here I move my Braum 1 square to the right. That should hopefully guarantee the buff to go to my Tristana. But yeah, Yuumi's a little iffy sometimes. Like, you can't always get the result you want. Like, last time we lost the 50-50s. The buff might even go to Teemo this time. We'll see. But yeah, Teemo's shorter range, so he ends up walking up a lot. So we watch our Yuumi. She'll jump to the Nautilus and then to our Tristana. So our Tristana gets the attack speed buff. So we did it correctly that time. But I think I really should build the Rage Blade here. I'm not sure why I'm not. All right, so new shop, nothing much else to do here. We want to hit level 8. We could go level 8 now, but we don't have anything to put in. If you don't have anything to put in, even though we're on a win streak, probably not worth it to level up. We just put in like a naked Morgana. If we had like a Mystic, such as Janna, I think we sold a Janna before, but if we had Janna on our bench still, that could be worth running. If we had like another Vanguard that's 2-star, maybe that could be worth running. But right now, like our team's kind of whatever. And I'm a little slow on the swap, so maybe my buff gets messed up here. Like sometimes like you try to maximize for whatever you're doing, but it just doesn't always work out sometimes. And yeah, this guy has Kale with QSS and RFC, so dangerous situation. We get disarmed, unlucky. There goes the win streak, but he's 10 gold, level 7, so I don't envy his position. He kind of had to roll a lot of gold to get there. Okay, so now we're on the neutral camp. We found a Janna. If we get more gold, I'll pick up another Janna. What is this? That is Olaf and Kale. Not really necessary for us. We get another rod and a belt. Ooh, these items are a little weird, not gonna lie. We could do like a Morello on Triss. It's not the end of the world to do that, but I think it's like maybe even a hat on Triss wouldn't be too bad with a ZZ Rod. We definitely want the Dragon Soul spatula because all the other spatula items are kind of useless to us. But it's probably just a Rage Blade and then a Morello. Morello can go on Teemo or it could go on Sejuani. They're both fine, but we really need that last Dragon Soul. We just don't have it right now. I should be rolling right now. I don't know why I'm not. If you're in this position, you're on stage 5-1 with 50 gold, you have to be rolling because everyone else is rolling. So I need those 4-cost upgrades that I talked about before. I need Aatrox, I need Sejuani. I don't know why I'm not rolling here. I need 6 Dragon Soul because I have the Olaf on my bench. Like I really should be going for those, but I'm just not doing that for some reason. But yeah, yeah, mistakes happen. I seem to make that mistake a lot, so I want to try to stop doing that because you guys hear me in a lot of my games. I'm like, wow, I should have rolled on stage 5. I have so much gold, and I just don't do it in my next games. I don't know why that happens, but like in your games, just try to avoid that mistake because yeah, we lost here and we're not, even though we're first place, look at the lobby health. Like everyone else is within like 10 to 20 health from us. Like 6th place or 5th place is 41 health. We're only 15 health stronger than them. So we're actually not that strong. Maybe I like wisen up and roll down here. I should complete that Yuumi. I don't know why I'm not. I think it's because I'm looking for Dragon Soul. But yeah, we need to find 6 Dragon Soul. We're looking for Brand. We're looking for Aurelion Soul. And there's the Brand. Please tell me I buy him. Oh no, we already have 6. Did I like miscount when I was playing? It happens, guys. It happens. I just throw the random legendary units in. Morello on set. They're not the strongest. They're not going to be in my final build. I want Aatrox and Sejuani, as I talked about before. Oh yeah, and when you play this version, you don't need all the sharpshooters. You really just need 2 sharpshooter. 4 is nice, but you have to end up running like a lot of weird units. So if you don't have sharpshooter chosen, it's kind of weird to play. Because if you have sharpshooter chosen, you could play Tristana, Teemo, and Sivir, and that's your comp right there. But if you don't, you have to run a champion like Nidalee. Nidalee's kind of useless, and getting Samira, you have to wait too long before you hit Samira. But maybe we get a set 2 here. There's the Sejuani. Let's see what else in the rolldowns. We get the Olaf 2-star. We're looking for like other dragons as well that are stronger than what we have because we only have this Shyvana 1-star. Who gets a Dragon Soul? Yeah, probably Set because he just likes ability power, so you just put as much ability power on him as possible. Even though the Dragon Soul buff isn't that important on him, it's kind of whatever. Oh, one fun tip when you are playing Dragon Soul, you want 3 units in the front line. When you have 6 Dragon Soul, you get 3 Dragon Soul buffs. So in order to maximize the buff usage, you want to put them on the front line so they get the buff as quickly as possible so that if they die early, they could transfer the buff to someone else, such as your carry in the back line whose name is Tristana. And that's exactly what's happening here. She got the buff a little earlier, and yeah, she blows up the other guy. I really should be rolling more here. Maybe I'm doing like a fast 9. I don't really know. On this carousel, we're not looking for too much. It's kind of last pick, so whatever we can get. Maybe like a set item could be cool because we almost have him at 2-star, so if we get Jeweled Gauntlet, maybe we could do something like that. Runons is great on Olaf, so that might be a good pick too. But yeah, at this point, it might just be this Jeweled Gauntlet. So our set's looking pretty fine. Again, guys, you need to be rolling down here. I need the upgrades. Look at my board. I'm 1 off set. I have like 1-star everything except for Olaf, Braum, Sivir, and Tristana. Like, I need to be much stronger, in my opinion. I know I'm winning these rounds, but like once I start facing like stronger players, because I kind of like dropped my rank a little bit. But once I start facing like higher LP players, it's going to be a lot more difficult to get away with this board. So we got the Shyvana 2 there. Yeah, that's nice. We're on the last round, so I guess we just go 9 after this. So that's one reason why I don't recommend like making a Smurf, because it builds a lot of bad habits. If you're facing a lot weaker players, you will eventually like think that your board is strong enough when it really isn't against like players your actual playing level. And I don't mean this as like an ego trip. It's like if you are like, because this applies to every single level. If you are a gold player and you make a new account that's playing in bronze, like you're not going to be able to get away with the mistakes you make in bronze when you're playing on your gold account again. So like doing it in that fashion, you just build a lot of bad habits. So I just don't recommend doing that. We get a hat here, which is okay. We could put that as like either on a damage unit or a support unit. Doesn't really matter. I'm thinking like, yeah, maybe Sivir's funny with like a huge attack speed buff. That could be pretty cool. So I'm at 99 gold right now. Again, like I'm getting away with stuff that I shouldn't. Like, look at how weak this guy's board is. 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star. He has like so many 1 stars. This is like a master's lobby. But yeah, I don't know. It's just really weak. So many 1 stars in stage 6. This isn't stage 5. This is like a, yeah, this is like an early stage 5, late stage 4 board. And for some reason, they got away with it until stage 6. So that's probably why I didn't roll so much, because everyone was so weak. But yeah, level up here, roll it down, get some good units. Samira is nice if we want to play sharpshooters again, or just replace a Sivir. Sivir is still nice, but Slayer with Olaf is also really good too. I need to be rolling more. Get this set 2, because set 2 is going to be huge. Swain is really nice. That's a really good Dragon Soul unit. Maybe we could go 9 Dragon Soul. Do we need, like, who are we missing? We're missing someone. I just don't know who. But Hat probably would go on Swain if I put him in this round, but I forgot to. And I just wanted to put the Hat on someone just because it just needs to be used, so I don't lose, because look at our health, 44 to 41 to 31. We're all like very equally matched in terms of health pool. But ideally you put the Hat on Swain. Just didn't get a chance to this round because I was taking my sweet time doing my turn. I might end up like selling the set because I want to play 9 Dragon Soul for the fun of it. Who are we missing though? We're missing someone. Maybe we find it on the roll down. That's level 2 Samira. That's really... Oh, Aurelion, so the dragon. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so now we get to play 9. And yeah, we just need the spatula on someone else. Who gets that? Probably Samira. Oh, one fun tip, guys. Whenever you have a spatula item, put it on your legendary unit. They're going to make the most use of the buff, like almost no matter who it is, like, or what type of buff it is, like Warlord Spat, Duelist Spat, Divine Spat, Assassin Spat, Elder, like all of them, they're going to be working the best on a legendary unit, just because legendary units, like, they're called legendary units for a reason. They are going to be the best. So 9 Dragon Soul is awesome. You get 6 Dragon Soul buffs. You get a lot of AP and a lot of damage on the proc. So it's like, look at this Dragon Soul buff. It's like they're just popping them right now. That's a nice win there. We still probably should be rolling because we're at 46 gold right now. That's a lot for the late game. And like when I only have like 3 lives left, I should be rolling. Last time I'll say that this game. So what do we want here? Runon's pretty good on Olaf. Maybe we could take the Bloodthirster Swain to get a Swain 2 really quickly. Chalice of Power, also very interesting. We could put that on Samira to buff everyone even more. Unfortunately, Samira doesn't use mana, so I honestly probably should have put the Chalice of Power on Olaf and put Olaf in the center. Just because, like, he just doesn't use mana, so there's just no point in like having her have that, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm gonna end up frontlining everyone. Samira has short range and she has a Dragon Soul buff, so I don't really mind like losing her, if that makes sense. Just buff everyone in the front. You get 6 buffs, so I want to put 6 units in the front. So I'm counting there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pike is just there for the Slayer bonus, but I do need him eventually. So we get the Brand 2 there. Big power spike, right? Let's see how this fight turns out. We get 6 buffs. Once a unit dies, Tristana's going to get it. Oh, wait, no, it went to Brand. No. Can we still pull this off? Oh, nice. We still did it. That one was really close. I'll give it that. We're on the new shop, and we have a ton of gold this game. We should roll it down because they're all low health now. Oh man, that guy found Swain. Unlucky. We definitely want Swain. Maybe we could get like Olaf 3-star. Yeah, I guess we could wait one more turn. There's, if this is your game, like please roll down because they're at 13 and 5 life. So you could just put him away right now if you just roll all the way to 0. Get like Swain 2, Pike 2, Aurelian Soul 2, maybe Olaf 3. This guy's got a lot of 2-star legendaries. He's got 2 of them, but he's got a lot of 1-star units. How is he on stage 6-6 with half his board 1-starred? I know he's running Ornn, so he has like the Ornn unit power spike, but man, that is crazy. How's he getting away with that? That's a lot of 1-stars. Half his board is 1-star. All right, Static Shiv, not the best item, but whatever. Let's roll down here. We get another set. I'm going to scout to see what units he's trying to hold on to, and he's looking for Morgana. Get a set 2. Why not just upgrade it, you know? I could always drop down to 6 Dragon Soul, worst case scenario, because set's a very strong legendary. All right, so Static Shiv on the Olaf. He'll ult faster that way, and he has a pretty good attack speed, so he's not a bad holder of it. Maybe we get Samira 3-star. What Ornn item does he get? He gets Manazane. Interesting. And again, like, it's like you really should be rolling. He's rolling a 0, so he's gonna get super strong. Like, I'm being very greedy. Like, even though I have a couple of lives left at level 7, the base damage is so high that like I might only have 2 lives here if I take big losses. But let's see what happens here. I still have the ASOL 1. That's hilarious. I don't even know what's going on in these fights. All I know is that I'm winning and I have 50 gold and I never rolled the entire game. Yeah, Tristana is the one reroll comp that they like forgot to kill, I guess. So there is that. Try it at your own risk. It is good, but you could also like not commit to the reroll. You could just play Tristana Chosen and then sell her. Go into something like Olaf with Slayers and Tryndamere. She uses items that Shyvana uses, so you could go in a lot of different directions. You don't have to do the slow roll Tristana if you get Tristana Chosen, but if you like reroll, this is the only time you can do it on this patch, so or only champion you could do it on with this patch. So if you do get it, go ahead and try it. She could use, again, like any item, almost any item. Like Last Whisper, IE is good. QSS is the best defensive item. RFC, Rageblade is good if you want to go attack speed. You could go Jeweled Gauntlet, IE. You could do like Jeweled Gauntlet Hat. Like, she can use anything. That's what makes her so good. And after that, you just do power level all the way up because as you guys can see there, like, I know people in my lobby were kind of weak, but honestly, if you are below master, like everyone's going to be even weaker than this. So you could get away with a lot more as long as you have Tristana 3-star with good items. Like, honestly, I played horribly this game, and like we were able to win just because of the power of Tristana. And like I wasn't punished at all for just not rolling when I really should have. So imagine if I played optimally, I would have destroyed these guys even harder than I did here. So hopefully you guys will have fun with this. Let me know in the comments how it works out for you guys. And I'll be back hopefully like really soon again with like more videos. So looking forward to that. I'll see you guys later.